Hi guys, so things have happened. Alright, we're just gonna I did this almost exact same video last year, which is why I'm a little bit frustrated with myself because I did not learn my own lesson. Sorry, my glasses are just incredibly dirty. I have cats and they rub on my face all the time. So, okay, here we go. I can see now in my reflections at the end of 2021, which I do every year, right? Like, what went well this year, what didn't, what do I need to work on for the next year, that kind of thing, right? It's just like a cumulative look back at the year and analyzing what happened, right? Like objectively. Everything was tolerable. Like, obviously everybody wants to make more money. When it comes to like emotional and like self fulfillment, I think basically not happy with the way things went this last year, where I'm at in my I don't want to say life plan, because it's not a plan. It's just there are things that I would like to accomplish in my lifetime that I feel like I need to be working towards, not having completed them, but just working towards them. And I didn't really take any steps to get there this last year, or the steps that I did take were very small, and I feel like there should have been more growth. There was more room for growth. I could have done more things, but instead I chose not to for whatever reason. So I'm just trying to work towards that, right? Which is what I said last year as well. Yeah. Again, I didn't learn. So this year, I am pretty much 100% committed to constant growth and development. A huge part of my problem last year was my job. There's only so much that I can say, like from a legal standpoint, and also just from a moral standpoint. So I can't really discuss like the nuances of my frustrations. Suffice it to say, I and the majority of my team felt that we needed to be focusing on certain things. We should have certain priorities in a certain order, and that there's a little bit of leeway, and there are just some days where you kind of have to readjust your priorities because you're not going to get everything done, or there is a more efficient way of getting things done that you normally wouldn't utilize. It all boils down to difference of opinion between my team and our superiors. I will say most of the time we were on the same page, but the times that we differed were like very key points. And it's just very, very frustrating. It created a anxiety-inducing workplace. We felt that the support from our leadership was not there. There was a period of time where I went 2 months without seeing one of my superiors, literally 2 whole months. Not because she wasn't necessarily in the building, but just because she didn't make it a priority to check in with me and my team at all. Basically, I got frustrated with our leadership because of my unique situation where my husband is a leader in the building. I felt that I tried to very gently express myself, slowly in pieces. And towards the end, I was just like, I'm done. Like, I've done everything I can to communicate. You guys are not communicating back. I'm walking back to the open office or just up on you on the sales floor, and you're being disrespectful to me and my team. So I'm done. I just kind of had to be. So I actually asked for, it took almost a month. I asked for a meeting with my 2 superiors and finally got that down. And then they spent the entire time telling me that I was the problem. Did what I could. I went and apologized to my team for any miscommunications, or if I had ever made like a negative work environment, and every single one of them laughed at me and said, you are not the issue, they are the issue. So that made me feel better, but not enough to stay. So I actually had been planning, I've been planning to leave since like before Thanksgiving, but that was the last straw, and I actually had intended on telling them on that date. I actually had intended on telling them when I asked for the meeting a month prior to let them know, hey, I'm leaving. If you want to hire somebody, feel free. I will train them before I leave. That gives us plenty of time. But I couldn't get a meeting with them. And then, of course, the meeting we did have was not like conducive. I felt like if I had broached it and been like, hey, so let's just not do this because I'm quitting, they would have just, I felt like in the moment they would have just been like, oh, she's upset because we're giving her feedback and she doesn't like it. Whereas the two were kind of related, but it's not, it's like causation versus correlation, right? Like, I'm not quitting because of this conversation. This conversation is just a symptom of the reasons why I'm quitting. And then I gave them an additional 2 weeks to get their stuff sorted, and they still haven't. So yes, I've quit my job. From a financial standpoint, like it's not great, but there's just so many other things that I was like trying to focus on. Last year, I will say, like, the good things that we did, we spent a whole lot more time with our family. Both of our families have had numerous health problems in the last few years. So we're just trying to like be a little bit more mindful and focus on that. In that sense, we've definitely like stepped it up a notch. Even though we did well this year, I'm hoping to again ramp it up in 2022. Another thing we did very well this year was being a little bit more mindful and paying attention to just analyzing, what do I want to be doing right now? What do I need to be doing right now? And kind of trying to find that balance between productivity and comfortability. Okay, so the lighting is getting crazy, so sorry. Point being is I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful about it, and then making sure I'm more mindful about my body. And a huge portion of that is like just doing things when my body needs those things to be done. So like yesterday I'm doing laundry and start having a back spasm, and I get them all the time. Most of the time, don't even notice them. I literally don't even, I have to be like thinking about it to notice that a muscle is just twitching away. Most of the time they're not painful. Like 99% of the time they're not painful. It kind of feels like numb. But I was doing laundry and kind of like half bent over, and painful muscle spasm like right underneath my shoulder blade. And I just had to like stop and breathe through it and just relax. And like, I was able to take the time to do that. Whereas at work, painful muscle spasm doesn't matter. I don't care that I'm in the middle of lifting this 50-pound box. I have to continue lifting the 50-pound box. I have to keep working, because you don't get the opportunity to like fully relax everything. Like, it can take 30 to 45 minutes of constant stretching and just like shavasana on the floor for my back to completely relax. And it is an incredibly painful process the whole time. And it's just not something I can do at work. Like, it's not feasible. Anyway, all of that was bad. I quit my job. I no longer work outside of the home. I'm definitely working in the home more often. Again, I'm trying to make the Reading Corner a bigger priority. There's a whole lot of effort that has to go into this channel, that I just wasn't willing to put in the time before because other things were priority, whereas now I have that time. I can fit the time in kind of between and around things. We'll see. My life, hopefully I've gotten rid of like a huge chunk of, trauma is not the right word, but like stressors. Just this last week has been massively different. I do have a writing project that I'm in the middle of. Quality, like what I'm producing now versus what I did before, is like vastly different. I'm able to focus more and put more thought into it and be more mindful, and it's a world of difference. And I am just so incredibly grateful to my husband, who works his butt off to provide for us and me and our family. I am just grateful to other people and my younger self for putting that work in to give me the opportunity to now be able to do what I want and work from home. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I'm not going to post this video until I have 2 or 3 other videos recorded and edited. The goal, right, is 1 video a week, but we will see how that goes. I'll try to keep you guys updated as far as some writing projects are going. Here's my issue with this, right? So, I am in the process of writing and publishing a series of children's books with another author. However, I genuinely have a fear that it will not be realized. So I don't want to discuss it and give any sort of details or information because I don't know that it will come to fruition. On the other hand, there are personal projects that I'm working on that I don't know. I'm still torn. I'm just gonna be like blunt about it. I'm torn between putting myself, like putting my face and attaching it to these projects. So there's one book that I'm writing that is vastly different from my normal style. I am way outside my comfort zone and having a little bit of like crisis with it. Like I kind of just want to like publish under a pseudonym and see how that goes first. Because if it's absolutely terrible, right, and falls flat, I don't want it associated with the other stuff that I do. You know what I mean? Do you see where I'm going with this? On the other hand, if it does really well, because it's in such a, like, way out of left field, I also don't want it associated with my other stuff because I don't want people to be like, oh, she did that, and then look at my other things and be like, that's not right. You know, I don't want... I feel like I need to keep them separate. So it is possible that I may never ever bring this up ever again, and it's something that I need to work on. Like I need to figure it out. So yeah, I have a whole lot going on. Another thing is, just let me know if this works for you or if you tried it and it didn't work. This is just something that I'm like trying out now. Instead of trying to do everything every day, read an hour every day, some sort of movement, so yoga, working out, whatever, sometimes both, cleaning, like I'm trying to think, and now I can't even think, but I had a checklist of like 6 things that I had to do every single day, and instead of doing every day, I'm doing one day is this. So today is a reading corner day. So I read this morning, I've recorded this, but basically today, instead of worrying about the other things that I have to do and the other projects, apart from like household things, right? And like day-to-day chores and taking care of myself, the cats, my plants, whatever, I will only do reading corner stuff. So I'm just going to be reading, taking notes, researching, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to even think about anything else until I feel like I've done everything that I can for today. Then tomorrow is going to be my project that I'm a little bit uncomfortable with. But instead of trying to do a little bit of everything every day, I'm just going to put all my focus into one thing, and then every day will be something different. If I need to tomorrow as well, then tomorrow needs to be a reading corner day, then tomorrow needs to be a reading corner day. So part of it, I think, is just being in the mindset of whatever project you're working on or whatever task you're doing, and not having to like mentally switch gears all the time. But then the stress too is like a huge, I can work longer and not notice or feel as tired and burnt out. Anyway. This is my cue that I need to be done talking because somebody wants attention. Alright, it's time. So, thank you for watching. I will see you all again later. Don't forget to subscribe because there's cat hair everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. We've got at least a couple videos planned, and like ready to go, ready to be published. This is my life. And yeah, so I'll see you guys again soon with another video. Hopefully it'll be a book review, but it could be like a little vloggy thing. Alright, I really have to go now, so thank you for watching. See you all again soon with another video. Leave me recommendations and all the stuff below, and I'll see you guys again next time.